Hey Virgo, this is your May 24 soul story. If you've got a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, you might find this reading offers you some messages that I hope will help you as you move through the coming weeks ahead. We're opening up with the Wheel of Fortune, and I suspect you're going to have a completely different view of the world through the course of May. And you know what is really going on here is an invitation to ask you what your energetic response is to everything that surfaced for you through that eclipse back in April. The wheel suggests that things are changing and in quite a significant way. And as we light up your 9th house, you are soul seeking and you are searching in new places, I think, this month. And that is going to afford you more enlightened answers. You know, you have to appreciate that you need to become somebody new in order to now meet the visions that you've set out for yourself. And I think that starts early on in May by saying, you know what, I am that person. There's a total shift in your own identity constructs taking place. Fate has got quite a strong hand in how events in May are unfolding for you. Now, we begin with the 2nd of the month delivering us Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And so the next few months, as we do every year, we are reflecting around issues of control and power. We're looking at those tendencies and habits, compulsions, addictions, obsessions, things in our world that are ultimately in need of purging and transforming. And I think that you are answering that call in a new way. There's a new approach and a new attitude coming through for you this month, Virgo. Now, the new moon in Taurus arrives on the 7th, and there's something happening here in regards to your own spirituality. You know, you may even find that, not like a crisis of faith, but you know, a lot of the beliefs that you've held are now evolving and so quickly that you're kind of having to keep up with that, which means you're having to redefine and really reconsider, you know, what you believe, what you align with, who you align with. And there's a lot kind of surfacing around that time, and it's going to be really constructive for you, actually. I think it's quite grounded, even though I have you almost like going through this continuing conversation that sort of spans out throughout the month of May. It doesn't stop you, if you like, from being able to make the progress necessary in the early part of the month. And I think that's really important. So you are showing to me that you're becoming devoted to improving a certain situation. And I think you're likely to see some really good results as you embark upon that. The Fool comes in, and along with the Wheel, like I said, there's something a bit unexpected and also sort of pushing you, if you like, to step right outside of your own comfort zones. I think we need like a certain amount of both discipline and chaos, right? The sort of healthy dose of each is the thing that enables you to keep progressing and moving forward, but to not lose your way. And I would suspect that May is going to be one of those months where it's very apparent in the moments where you're needing to bring that discipline and consistency and commitment through, and at the same time be witness and allow and embrace a certain degree of chaos as you sort of find your feet and start to receive, you know, deeper answers that perhaps again are sort of going against or, you know, enabling like a complete reform to take place, you know, as you're on this soul searching adventure. There is, of course, new beginnings when we welcome the energy of the Fool, and around that new moon in Taurus, I think you're very committed to a specific path or specific idea. Now, as we move into mid-month, we've got the asteroid goddess Ceres stationing retrograde in Capricorn. Capricorn, of course, ruling that 10th house. And here Ceres is teaching us how to survive. And, you know, when you move into Gemini season, that will be 10th house energy for you. And so that cycle, if you like, is bringing to the forefront an opportunity for you to be very honest with yourself and have that breakthrough that says, okay, this is what it's going to take, this is what's needed, this is what's required. And as I said, you know, you have goals in mind, but who do you need to become to achieve those goals? That's going to be a big part of your conversation internally, and also how Ceres can help you to adapt, thrive, and survive in this shifting, changing landscape in the collective at this time. Mercury in Taurus in a fellow earth sign arriving on the 15th brings a deliberate, considered, mindful way to communicate with others. And, you know, especially with that spiritual house of the 9th kind of reflected for you in Taurus season, what you're saying is landing with a lot of wisdom, actually. And so people are paying attention and want to know your perspective, want to understand your take on things, because you seem to be able to cut through a lot of the noise and get to the kind of root, the heart, the origin of things. And that will really help pay dividends, actually, in terms of anything that you're trying to achieve or progress that you're trying to make, especially in regards to, you know, closer to home relationships where you're trying to get your point across, or have important discussions about what happens next, or, you know, clearing things so that you can put in place new strategies. Remember, as I said, everything about May is almost this: what is your energetic response to the eclipse? You know, that arc of influence over the next 6 months is playing out, but, you know, this time so close to it is having the potency of sort of whether the trigger, and however that was felt by you, is now being met with this evolved, mature, spiritual, enlightened version of you, or if you're finding yourself going back to those old habits. And if that is the case, which, you know, we're human, it happens, you can keep affirming, I'm no longer that person, and thinking toward what it is you're trying to achieve in your future self, and reminding yourself, this is the person that I now am. And I think the simplicity of those statements also hold great power and will have great influence in just giving you that sacred pause before you speak. Mercury Taurus will help you to do that. Now, we have some nice auspicious dates in May, and I think as a month within 2024, this is one of the times where you can just kind of catch your breath a little bit. I think you start to feel good, tangible results with things. I feel like you're more at peace or at ease, even if things are still in a powerful state of flux. There's something about your ability to just be able to manage and handle situations that are going to feel through the month of May just improved to perhaps the intensity or some of the ways in which things have been arriving for you in this first part of the year. So the Magician comes through, and on the 18th we've got this really beautiful conversation with the Sun and Jupiter, and it really heralds a time for immense growth and, again, lucky fated opportunities, which the wheel is also, you know, telling us is incoming for you with a very strong directive. With the Magician, it says, you know, we still have to be a co-creative component in the process, if you like. There's something that you have to do. So it's like something might land on your doorstep, a door might open, a conversation may be initiated, something will begin, but you then have to take it and run with it. This isn't a case of just sitting back. If you do the hard things in life, in a way you end up creating more ease, whereas if we sit back and wait for the easy life, we end up often in more hard, difficult situations, because those comfort zones, as appealing as they are not really how, you know, we are built. It's not how we're set up. It's not the mission that we have here on earth. Everything is about, you know, that growth, that breaking down, breaking through, the resiliency, the progression, the movement. And that's really what, you know, is being so eloquently presented to you through this month of May. And the Magician says, look, everything that you've just gone through and what you're dealing with right now is showing you the direction that you're supposed to be headed in, what you're healing, what you're clearing, what you're evolving, what you're moving past and beyond, what you now have wisdom and knowledge to share, you know, how you can educate, how you can lead by example. Everything is there for you. You don't have to go searching for answers, you know, in places that are so obscure or that feel like they're so outside of yourself. You have everything that you need. That said, I feel that the spiritual energy that comes through in the month of May does have you looking in some really interesting directions to sort of get a bit of a new take, and that will help you to almost reconstruct your own philosophy. And that might come, as I said, as a result of a crisis of faith of some form, or even a mini crisis that you may feel just internally, emotionally, in some capacity. And that doesn't have to render you in a place of, you know, feeling stuck or stagnant. You know, there is continuing progress being made for you in the month of May, so do hear that. The 18th, as I said, a lucky auspicious day, and you've got justice coming in here. I like all these majors showing up for you. They just feel very clearing and changeling energies. And the thing with justice is that I'm really being shown that, you know, the outcome that you seek, it will always come in what is for your highest good. But in this occasion, it's almost like it's aligned with what you want as well, because sometimes, yeah, what we want and what we desire isn't always what we end up with, because, you know, we maybe have to learn something or be put through something. But I feel that through the month of May, you're looking for an outcome that does feel just and fair, and you know will bring more balance back into your world. And I think that's what will happen. And again, it's as a result of you kind of doing the work and being able to know what part you have to play in something. So when opportunity comes knocking, or you see something starting to unfold, it's like having a really clear energetic intention of what it is that you want. And don't forget, I mean, these are back to basic principles, you know, of how we move through life in terms of how we manifest and work with energy. But this is your reminder, Virgo. You know, don't be the one that's emotionally reactive. Get out ahead of things. And that's what the Fool is going to help you to do. Get out ahead of the energy, because it's almost like as you take the step, something behind you crumbles away, and you'll be like, thank goodness I moved when I did. You know, that was exactly the right time, and you will have felt the divine timing of that, the kind of compulsion, the sort of inextricable, like I can't not move in this direction. So justice comes in and brings peace to a situation as well that might have felt a little bit chaotic. Remember what I said, there's a healthy dose of both discipline and chaos for you through the month of May. As the sun shifts into Gemini, Ace of Pentacles, another new energy here. Like you're working with a lot of new things, you know, and there's almost a sense for you in some ways that, you know, this, I don't know what to do with this. Like I haven't met this kind of experience before. I've not met this version of myself. I've not done this. So, you know, there's a curiosity with that, which is exciting. There's a little bit of an adventurous feel as you kind of think, okay, this is offering me something that I've been looking for and I couldn't even quite articulate or communicate, and yet it's showing up in this way, and that feels good to me. And I think you're ready to sort of embark and want to kind of sow the seed of that. Now, again, what I'm seeing with regards to both of these aces coming through is that, you know, once you have a sense of the clarity landing, and it might not straight away, you know, it might be as you move through the month, it's like slowly piece by piece kind of coming together. But as something lands for you more fully in May, like you have to take that first step with it, even if you're not clear on what the kind of full roadmap looks like. May is demanding of you that you take some sort of deliberate, intentional, quite prominent action. And when you do, even if there's a hiatus, even if something, you know, doesn't get fully completed through the course of the next few weeks, it's almost like demonstrating back to the universe, okay, I'm on the path. Okay, I hear you, I see you, I'm responding in the ways that I should be. And when that happens, like everything kind of syncs up and starts to keep in flow. When we don't do that and we start fighting against what our own our own destiny path looks like, that's when we come up against more and more frustration, and we feel like we're getting more and more blocked, and we feel more and more drained. Okay, now the full moon in Sagittarius arriving on the 23rd also has some really beautiful conversations happening astrologically, and it's rich and fertile and absolutely prepped for being this platform for you to build upon. So something culminating, something that you need to release by way of like withdrawing and pulling back from something, because we need to now create space. You're going to see something around that full moon for what it is, and that in itself is going to set you free. Sometimes we have to contract to expand, remember. But as you broaden your horizons, and as you really think about how you want to show up in regards to a situation, in a relationship, at home, in your work, career, with yourself, that full moon is illuminating like a really important message for you. We then welcome Jupiter shifting signs out of Taurus into Gemini on the 25th, and you know, there is a absolute avalanche of new information set to come in over the next few months working with this cycle. A splintering off, if you like, as we have to consider, you know, what's real, what's right, what's true, what's fake, what's, you know, and all of that can be arrived at more cleanly, if you like, with greater allowance by you when you are more certain of yourself, when your sense of self is strong and you have that moral compass, you have that clear North Star within you, you've got your own spiritual beliefs about things, of course open-minded, open to learn, to be educated, to continue to evolve. But if not, it's sort of like you get a little bit battered around in the wind, and things move so quickly, things keep changing. So the minute that you hang your hat on something, it shifts and it's something new and something different. And that can feel very overwhelming. Even as a Mercurial ruled sign, yourself, Virgo, it still feels like, wow, this is a lot. I don't know if I can keep up with the pace of this. So there's a preparation that comes in at the end of May. And again, this translates through your personal, family, career, as to the degree that you want to now set out. This is how I want my experience to be. This is how I want to respond to certain things that are going on in the world. This is the way I want to connect to people. Like, all of those conversations with the self are incredibly important so that you can move with the amplification that Jupiter brings in Gemini. And I think as you get towards the end of the month, there's something really beautiful and uplifting and incredibly optimistic about the potential that you see. And you know, we don't want to sit in the energy of potential, but there's a kind of a very objective, realist view that you bring to something, and you're like, okay, I know what it's going to take, but actually I can also really see how this will go. And Jupiter and Gemini can move like at lightning speed. So also things that you are beginning and, you know, starting through the course of May, tinged with this energy coming in at the end, also are set to, you know, show you how fast expansion can happen. And that bodes really well for you in your 10th house of career and work and showing up in the community. Yeah, so any kind of project or anything that you've got going on in that capacity is kind of lit up really beautifully. I like the energy of May for you. I like the energy of May for us all. I feel like it's got that opportunity to literally catch our breath, but at the same time make tangible progress and feel like some sense of direction and clarity. And you have all of this new energy flooding in with opportunity and clearance and balance. So this bodes well. Now, if you're new to the channel, Virgo, our last 3 cards we cover in the extended version of the reading. I'm going to go ahead and clarify the cards and see what direction we'll take this. We also look at a personal card and a relationship card in the extended if you join me, and you will find that link in the comment and description box underneath. We have another wheel just come through for you, double Wheel of Fortune. That is one interesting revelation set to come in early on in the month for you, you know. 10 of Wands also showing up, interesting. Ace, another Ace, and the World. With every new beginning comes an ending. Ace of Swords brings through your card, the Hermit, and the King of Wands here. The Magician, Queen of Coins, Page of Swords. Great energies this month for you, Virgo. Justice, Knight of Swords, Page of Coins, Three of Swords. Ace is bringing in Queen, 5 and the 4. Okay, so all the decks I use are listed below as well. And please check out my website, romywiser.com. You'll find all my sacred titles, ways to work with me, all of the creative tools that I put together to help you on your spiritual journey. Right, we're going to look at Life Soul Vision Oracle. So this is my own deck. If you're new to the channel, please take a moment to go check it out. So let's see what it wants to add. Soothe your soul. We've got the Rainbow Dragon and the Wild Rose. We've got Portals of Possibility. Gosh, I love these cards coming in for you. The Wishing Tree. Nice. Solstice, Celestial Stillness, right ahead of next month's solstice, of course. Third Eye Energy, Awakened Vision. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple more oracle cards. So messages for Virgo for May. We have Orion, the Hunt. Okay, and finally Virgo, one more oracle message to cover in your extended reading. We have the energy of Labyrinth. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you'll join me. Have a great month of May. Take care of yourselves. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.